Hey guys, this is Andy at Falco K9 Academy. I'm glad you decided to come back and join us at Falco K9 TV. This is where we are going to try to give you as much insight into our company as possible on a I don't know, a week-to-week, month-to-month basis. And we're going to kind of spotlight some of our canine handlers, some of our pet dog handlers, detection dog handlers, a little bit about the company, about the products we carry. You know, my friend Daryl DeSanto, who from time to time is one of our assistant trainers here, has told me that I don't smile enough on camera. So I'm going to try to smile a little bit more to keep him happy and hopefully keep it a little bit more entertaining for you guys. On this episode, I wanted to tell you guys a little bit about the history of Falco K9. For those of you that don't know, you know, how we got started, where we came from, that kind of thing, I thought it might be a good idea to let you know a little bit about us. About 1987, seems a long, long time ago, I became a police officer over the city of Anaheim, and a short time after, I was selected into the K9 program. Now, before I became a police officer, my interest was in becoming a dolphin whale trainer over at SeaWorld. That's what I really, really wanted to do, amongst the hundreds of other things I was doing, being a magician at restaurants and entertainment centers, driving a bus, driving a limousine, working in a warehouse as a warehouse manager. You name it, I probably did it, from driving forklifts to driving large limousines and buses, like I said before. Suddenly I woke up and found myself wearing an Anaheim Police uniform and eventually into the K9 unit. So what brought me into the K9 unit at Anaheim Police Department was my prior interest of wanting to train animals and being a law enforcement officer and being able to bring those two worlds together, at least in my world. And everything seemed to go very, very well. My interest was piqued. I had a great interest in learning the concepts of training police dogs and how to get them to do what we want them to do. The only problem was, after a period of time of being with the trainer that we were with, I began to realize that the harsh methods they were using were probably not the best way of training police dogs. We were using sharpened pinch collars, we were using cattle prods, we were hitting the dogs with sticks, with reed sticks, sometimes until they bled. And although it may have motivated the dogs to do something, the motivation was more out of fear than it was out of a positive motivation. And as time went on and we continued to do this, and I continued to use those methods in training our police dogs at the city of Anaheim, I began to realize that there may be a problem with this type of training. We weren't getting the consistency out of the dogs that we wanted. They weren't consistently doing the things that we needed them to do. And also I could see that it was taking a toll on some of our canine handlers. They were beginning to get rougher and harder and tougher on some of the dogs. And again, that's only because that's what we were trained to do. That's how we were told that it had to be done. Well, I was fortunate enough, because of my interest in being a canine handler and what I was doing at the K9 unit there at the city of Anaheim, I began to get invited to teach throughout the United States with a conference called the International Police Canine Conference. And as an instructor there, I began to meet some really terrific trainers. Bob Wright over at the Niagara Regional Police in Canada, Billy Knott out of Connecticut, Mark Ficadente, and St. Paul, Minnesota, Steve White out of the state of Washington. And these gentlemen, you know, they were doing things a little bit different than what we were trained to do in our community and from our local vendor. And that was to use more of a motivational way to train dogs, getting the dog to do something because they were going to get some type of reward in return, whether it was a toy, you know, a pat on the head, or eventually carrying the equipment, the bite equipment around after they completed the exercise as they were supposed to do it. And although I was reluctant to start that type of training or even bring it home to the city of Anaheim, I began to try it in my own private world when I was doing my maintenance training on duty, and began to see a difference in my dog. His motivation was higher. He was repeating and beginning to do things consistently, on a consistent basis, where he wasn't doing that before. He was searching with more rigor and more excitement, with his tail wagging as opposed to his tail straight up in the air in a dominant or a fight type of positioning, and was doing it because he wanted to do it and because he liked doing it and because he got something from it. So I began to take some of these tools that these gentlemen were loaning me or giving me, whether they knew it or not, and began to develop our own training system there at the city of Anaheim. As I did that, I began to pique the interest of some people in the community who had dogs, security dogs, that type of thing. And a gentleman by the name of Tim Alcott, who was working for Odetics at the time in the city of Anaheim, had a security dog that was trained with the old methods, the fear-based, the defensive type training, and asked me if I could help him out. My first paid customer, and Falco K9 Academy was born. We made some changes with that dog. The dog who formerly used to not be able to be pet by anybody or really even be near any other human being was now being pet and played with some of the employees over there at Odetics, and became almost a mascot while still keeping in place his protection training and his ability to protect the handler and be a patrol dog in search and that type of thing. Eventually, I began to train departments such as the City of Orange, the City of Tustin, and continued on my career as in-house trainer for the Anaheim Police Department. And Anaheim, was very kind in sending me to places like Germany and Canada, all over Europe, to learn how to train police dogs, and really helped me begin a career in police dog training, detection dog training, and then eventually pet dog training. And so we like to say that we are one of the few vendors, police canine vendors, who use motivation as our primary way of training dogs. It is not that we do not use a correction from time to time to tell the dog when you're doing something wrong immediately, but we definitely back it up and support that type of training with reward-based training. If we can get to a majority of rewarding the dog as opposed to the majority of correcting the dog, we feel we have a better product, we have a better program, we have a better working dog and a better working handler, which makes the team entirely stronger and better for the citizens that our police dogs are working in. Eventually, we also got contracts with the City of Palm Springs, Coachella Valley area police departments, Disneyland, Indio Police Department, Cat City, and things began to work very quickly, and people began to see a difference in their programs if they had one prior, or when we started them, they saw that the dogs were very effective and sometimes more effective than any of the surrounding agencies that they were working with. So that's kind of how we got started, and if you have any further questions about our canine training program, feel free to give us a call and let us know what it is that you need help with, or how we can help you with whatever canine or pet dog training question you may have. Visit some of our videos that you'll see on YouTube and on our website, and enjoy yourself. And let us know what you want to see. We'll bring some more videos to you that will show you about the dog foods we feed, how we treat our dogs at home, and what's important to us as far as manners and what needs to take place on a day-to-day basis with your dogs. Some training equipment, we'll bring those to you, and again, some of our handlers and the people involved behind the scenes over here at Falco K9 Academy. So have a great day, have fun with your dog, and we'll see you next time. Take care.